folks, it is the Turtle Dork back with a new movie review for you today. So this past weekend I got to check out a small independent film called 8th Grade. Yes, 8th Grade. This is a film, I believe it came out, it's rolling out in theaters now. So I was actually surprised I was able to find this in my area. So I definitely wanted to go see this, and I have to say that I really thoroughly enjoyed this film. What I really liked about this film, for the most part, is how authentic it really feels. It definitely takes a slice of life of that time, when you have an adolescent girl going through that stage, that in-between stage right before she gets into high school. And what I like about that is the fact that it captures the anxiety of and the insecurities that this girl, played by Elsie Fisher, a girl named Kayla, that she has as she transitions out of middle school going into high school, with the pressures of trying to fit in, have friends, deal with boys, all the stuff like that. But and it's directed by someone named Bo Burnham. Now, I'm not too familiar with him, and if this is his first feature or if he has previous works that he's directed. But this is going to be a weird comparison, but it's what I thought about is the way he decides to shoot this film and how the camera follows Kayla throughout this movie. It's very similar to a film like Mother, in the way that Aronofsky really shot Jennifer Lawrence, and a lot of it stays with her. A lot of it is over the shoulder, a lot of POV, getting her angle, her vantage point, and we see that a lot in this film as well. And I thought that was interesting to take that approach, because you want to get inside of what Kayla is feeling, inside of her thoughts, inside of that anguish and anxiety that she's feeling as you're watching this film. So I thought that making that choice as a director, I thought was really spot on, to really bring the audience into her world. And you really feel like a fly on the wall watching her go through a lot of these experiences, seeing her when she gets reluctantly gets invited to a birthday party and a pool party, a birthday pool party, and her going into the bathroom and trying to drum up that courage and go out and go outside, and how the camera follows her from in the house going outside, her getting into the pool. And it, like I said, the way that this film was directed, I thought really captured it so perfectly. But yeah, just going through that time, understanding what these kids go through, not just in school, but the relationship that she has with her father. And there's a really nice arc in the story, between her and her father, that they have a nice little heart-to-heart moment at the end. But you can see the disconnect, especially with these kids nowadays, always in their phones, always on Instagram. And it's so interesting as an adult watching this film, through an adult's eyes, knowing that we never had those type of things growing up. So it's just like the culture that we live in now, and how kids have to grow up now, dealing with a lot different types of pressures that we dealt with as kids. But still, and that's something I put in my Letterboxd review, is that I like how you can take these very honed in, specific, intimate stories, but yet they feel universal. I feel like everybody, regardless of race, creed, religion, background, you can identify with these feelings, and these type of like insecurities that she has growing up. I think a lot of people can relate to that. So I don't know, I really dug this film, and the more I kind of sit and think about it, the more I actually like it a lot more. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else that I could really mention without spoiling anything. It's a fascinating film. There's some really deep parts in it. There's some parts, I think, as parents and as adults, you don't want to realize, you don't want to recognize, or you don't you can't be in denial with what a lot of these kids are doing in school and what they're saying and thinking. But again, you gotta think back to when you were a kid as well. But yeah, it's and there's some. It gets deep. The movie definitely gets deep in some areas. But again, I think that lends itself to the authenticity of really getting a peek into this girl's life. One other thing I did want to say is like she does these like vlogs on YouTube where she gives like advice, like staying true to yourself, how to be confident, things like that, just to give like advice to other kids. But yet, how she's also struggling with the thing that she's trying to advise other kids to do. But I found that to be really a really kind of poignant part of the film, because as she starts to kind of move away from that, where she realizes that, why am I doing these vlogs when I don't even have the confidence in myself? But realizing that that's all a part of it. You never know who's out there listening, and you never know, just because you're preaching this stuff and you're not living it, you never know that somebody can identify with you and your struggle, and that can in turn help them. Yeah, 8th grade, definitely check that one out when you get a chance. So if you've seen the film, definitely let me know what you thought of it in the comments below. Go ahead, rate, like, subscribe, and share, and go to check out my other dorks, at MouthDork, at TheDiscoDork, and at Sidewalk Siren. And as for me, I am the Turtle Dork, and with that, I'm out.